Right, so basically, I'm going to do a quick Premier League prediction for the season. I was planning on doing this Lee, but Lee is unfortunately a little bit busy with his puppy, so he will not be attending. But we're going to just go through the teams, have just a little bit of general sort of like conversation on them when and if appropriate. I'll probably end up getting into like slightly more specific videos in the future, but I just thought get someone out before the season starts. It starts in 2 days, as you can see down here. But it's 10 o'clock. I'm just going from work, so I thought I'd at least put something out for the new season. Um, I'm pretty much going to start top to bottom on where people will finish. I've got one up here in the top left already done out. So once we've done this, we'll have a quick look at that before we sort of leave. Obviously, I'm going to start with the obvious ones. I'll start with Championship, and then I might do my relegation ones straight after. But I think the sort of obvious ones are Manchester City and Liverpool. I don't think there's any real conversation about Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham. Tottenham is probably the only one out of those outside three that you'd think maybe. Conte's done it before. He's come to England. He's bought the players he wants. He'll absolutely drill them for an entire year, maybe two if that. Win some trophies and then leave. That's just what he does. But I think it's a little bit step too far with Tottenham. Is my personal opinion. But for me, I'm not a City fan. This is the worst part about this. I'm not a City fan, but I wouldn't say it's nailed on. It's an absolute 50-50 for me on these. But I've chosen City because I think that they've done it. They're used to doing it now. It's a bit sort of like Liverpool have made 3 finals in Champions League. They've won 1. Whereas Man City have for the past sort of like 4 years, have basically been the dominant team in the Premier League. But that's a story for a different day. So we're going to go to the relegation fodder. I call it fodder because they are. But I think people aren't going to be happy with mine. I truly believe they're not going to be happy with what I'm about to say. But due to recent news this morning, I slightly changed it. Originally, I was going to have Bournemouth there. But I now think they'll survive. But again, it's like, for me, these two are the 50-50s for me. My definites, Leeds and Everton. I don't think there's nothing I've seen from Leeds from the end of last year that says they're going to be better. I know they've made some signings, but they're not signings that I think, oh wow, that's going to really push on. Their signings like that seems like desperation. They've got rid of. I would be more interested in seeing whether Patrick Bamford will be fit next season. But again, it's just constant injuries with Bamford, so I don't think he's going to be playing week in, week out. I think he's not finished, but he's had a niggling foot injury for an entire season. That's not something that just... If it didn't go away for the entire season, then I don't think it will really go away over the summer. And Everton, I think they've just got worse. Their squad's a year older. They haven't done anything of any note. And I just think that might be... Well, actually, they did. They got rid of Richarlison, but hey-ho. If you think... What people say about Ronaldo saving Manchester United is what they say about Richarlison and Everton, and they don't have that now. And I really want Frank to succeed. I want every ex-Premier League footballer to succeed. I have no bigger joy than watching someone I grew up playing the game then manage and do well. That's something that I want. But I think Everton are not in a good place, and I don't think that's going to transition well into the new season. But I have to say that my 3 going down will be Everton, Leeds, and Fulham. Now we're going to do the Champions League qualification. I think pretty much Liverpool second. I'm gonna say Tottenham third, and then Chelsea fourth. They're my top four, pretty much. Now, the reason I say Chelsea over Arsenal or Manchester, because I think they're the only two real contenders for top four. And again, this is something that these sort of like three here, they could all be Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester. They could all finish fourth in my eyes. But I think again, goalkeepers set them apart. I think De Gea is good, but I don't think he's great. I think Aaron Ramsdale's good. Don't think he's amazing. And I think if they can get the Mendy before they lost the Carabao Cup, then yeah, I think they're guaranteed. I think the only sort of like flag I have on that is they've basically lost their entire back. Well, I say their entire back line, a huge proportion of their back line. And I think maybe that would rock the boat for the first sort of like few games. But if they can, I think they've got enough there to still be a strong team, and they're still making moves in the market. The season starts in 2 days, and they're still making signings. They're still doing stuff. But that's pretty much it. That's why I think Chelsea will nudge it in front of Arsenal United. United, they've bought Malaysia. I can't remember the left back, which I think should start over Luke Shaw. And they bought someone else, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, I don't think it's not noteworthy, anyways. So I don't think they'll do it. But I do think it'll go Arsenal and then United. And although I think Gabriel Jesus, who I personally believe will be the Golden Boot winner this year, that's where I'm stamping my claim on Golden Boot winners is Gabriel Jesus. I just think it's still quite a young side in the bigger picture of things. We've got people going 33, 37 years in their career, and they're all sort of like 23, 24 with a lot younger players in that squad. I just don't think they have the experience to get it over the line. Jacques is their sort of like talisman, been there, done that sort of player, and I don't think he's good enough in my eyes. But that's who I think will finish 5th and 6th. And then it's a real tussle between, I want to say, Aston Villa, Wolves and West Ham. I want to put Newcastle in there, but I don't think we can get on the Newcastle bandwagon, getting into the qualification spots and all that sort of stuff. And so, I don't think... it's one of those things, we always talk about West Ham, and they'll always have a rough and tumble season. And they're sort of due one. And I think they're going to have it. I think they're going to have it this year. I will say I wasn't on board with it, but Lee's fully convinced me that this is the year that they'll have their rough and tumble and they'll finish 8th to 12th. So I'm pretty much left with Wolves or Villa. Villa's a weird one. Again, I feel like they did decent business, good business. We'll go along with good business, but I don't think it's the whole Tyrone Mings situation. I don't think he's Premier League quality. I don't think he can. He's sort of like the mid-table Harry Maguire at this point. I don't envision if Aston Villa are going to have him week in, week out, that they're going to do well. And the other issue is I think Martinez might be towards the latter stages of his career, and I don't think he's going to get any better or any younger. And I think that could come into play this year. So, in my eyes, although Wolves have not done anything in any sort of real terms, they've sent Fabio Silva out on loan, and Raul Patriccio's just got injured. Raul Jimenez, sick. Raul Jimenez has just got injured, and I don't think they're going to fall into mid-table. I think they're just going to... They might finish 8th. And then it's just a matter of case of one of these two. And again, I would throw Newcastle in there, because I think they've done in my eyes, they've done enough, and they're eyeing up Maddison at the minute. If they get Maddison, then yeah. In fact, what we'll do is we'll put a precursor. we'll put Newcastle there if they get Maddison. I don't think Maddison's like amazing, world class, but I think he's one of those stepping stone players that Newcastle could use to go up the table. And if Newcastle do get European football this year, I think they will suffer next year because I don't think they will invest into a European squad so soon. I think the money they've got, they're playing it a lot smarter than City did when they first took over. They're not just buying loads and loads of players and throwing enough at the wall until it sticks. They're buying very good players in positions that they need to strengthen, and they're not doing something silly like signing Jesse Lingard, which Nottingham Forest were very close to getting relegated with that. But I think Dean Henderson will be the saviour. But back to Newcastle, it's such a close gap between sort of like 7th and 10th. You could literally have 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't want to say Crystal Palace because they are literally the definition of a mid-table team. They're always. I mean, I know there was a lot of hype about Patrick Vieira and everyone last year, but they did better the season before. Like in their own sort of aspects of where they finished previously and everything around that. Last year was a bad year for Crystal Palace. As much as like they got through to the semi-finals, was it the FA Cup? Or was it the Carabao Cup? Can't quite remember. They did well in one of the cup competitions. They faced Chelsea so it was the FA Cup. They faced Chelsea in the semi-finals, and they couldn't play Conor Gallagher. I think Chelsea on the day were just a better team, and I think that's one of them. But yeah, so I'm going to have to go Arsenal, United, Newcastle. And then I'm going to go Wolves, Villa, West Ham, Palace. I don't know who's going to be 12th. I want to say Leicester. But Leicester, as of now, as of today, they've got rid of Kasper Schmeichel, which is possibly... There's been so many bizarre transfers for like stupid money. Sterling to Chelsea for 45 million, I think it was. Gabriel Jesus gone for 50. Sivchenko gone without an actual replacement in for City. That they're all strange transfers. And you've got Kasper Schmeichel going to Nice of all places. Like I don't remember Nice being any sort of like prominent team in modernish football that we have now, or they're going to go and run away with some, or they've got a young promising sort of like manager and coach and stuff. Of all the places, he could have, I would say, anywhere past not even Manchester. I say everywhere past Arsenal. So City, Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal. Other than those 5, he could have had his pick in the Premier League. I truly believe that. I'll put my sword in that. I'm happy with that. But such strange ones, and I have a sickening feeling that they're going to go into free fall, and that's going to be not good news. I think when we have a look at it in a second, I think I've put him lower on the table I drew up, and then we go to the bottom half of the table, sort of very close, and you could literally put these anywhere. But I think Brighton have officially sold Cucurella as of now. Well, probably a couple of hours ago actually, before I drove home. Yeah, so I think I still think they've got enough in there. They've got enough solidity to do that, and I think that's enough for them to stay up. I think Bournemouth are going to have to be down the end. I think Forest might just be a touch ahead of them. Southampton, again, any one of these you could put anywhere. I don't like the way Brentford play. It's one of those things. Is like you need to go for it. Watching Everton barely scrape through relegation. They played City, Liverpool, and Chelsea. City, they nearly got something. It was a dodgy decision. They didn't get a penalty, but again, they were 1-0 down because of their own sort of philosophy in playing. And same happened at Liverpool. kicking the ball out of play, not going anywhere near the ball. The ball was a scary thing, and no one wanted to play with the ball. It was like hot potato. You get Jordan Pickford from second one, time waste, kick the ball long. No one would chase it. They'd let Liverpool have it as long as it was in Liverpool's half. They didn't care. They had a few like counter attacks here and there, but there was nothing of them. There was no commitment. It was like two players ran up, and it was just like Van Dijk and whoever else was playing, Matip or Kanate, just just defending against two very average Everton players. And I think Gordon's going to come good, but at the time, I just think I don't know whether he's been told to or like what he's done, but he's very soft in the sense that you touch him, falls over, dives a bit. I just diving and cheating the game. Absolutely hate it. On a weird tangent, Neymar, probably the most talented player I saw growing up. Not in a sense of like, not like Ronaldo, Xavi, and Iniesta, not those sort of talent, but just absolute bags of talent wasted by just every now and again he would just do something stupid, or you'd be like, "You're such a good player. Why are you throwing yourself around?" His career will be tarnished. I think this is why there's always a debate of, "Oh, is he can he be regarded as one of the greatest players of all time?" It's because you look at his career and there's a lot of stains, a lot of moments where you think he's really like messed it up for himself. He should have done better. He could have done better. But enough of that tangent. We'll get back to this. I think go through this real quickly. Brighton Hove Albion, like I said, they've lost some star players, but I think they'll do alright. Southampton, always in the team. Guaranteed to lose at least 7 or 8-0 once or twice a season. Brentford, I dislike them, dislike the way they play, but I still think they'll do well. Nottingham Forest, Dean Henderson, I think is a very good, very, very, very good signing. And I think just like Sheffield Wednesday, was it Sheffield or Sheffield United? Can't remember. Just like Sheffield, I think he'll keep them in the league. I think once he gets some games under his belt, he'll do really well. I'm unsold on Jesse Lingard. People keep saying, "Oh, he was really good for 3 months, 18 months ago." He's like, he's 30 now. Well, he's approaching 30. I think he's 30 in a few months, where he's 30 now. But I don't think that's good enough I don't think he'll be good enough. Even at that, like, he's going into a team where they need high work rate. They're probably going to be on the back foot quite a lot. And I think if he couldn't do it for United last season when they were on the back foot, why is that any different to Nottingham Forest? I just don't understand why people think that, oh, he's going to go here and do well. I just can't see it personally. Bournemouth, I think they'll just scrape by. They've just signed Neto, a under-19s goalkeeper from Barca. Again, a strange signing, because you're 19 at Barcelona, unless you're absolutely god awful. Again, this could be just another financial issue with Barcelona, and that's why they had to sell him. But I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't think I've seen the full deal yet, so it could even be a loan. But I just know he'll be there next season. I think that's probably going to be enough to solidify Bournemouth's safety. Again, this was a tough one because Fulham have just got Leno. Mitrovic, 4 goals this year, signed, sealed, delivered. That's all he'll get. I truly believe that. It's just he's a player that's too good for the Championship, not good enough for the Prem. And I think there's been a couple of those. I'd even say Patrick Bamford is one of those. I would. Timu Puki, another one. Yeah, he had a bit of a flash in the pan at the start of last season for a couple of weeks, but it was nothing that was ever going to sustain or be good enough. There's loads of those that do that. What was his name? Oh, Italian, Sunderland. We'll just skip over that. Doesn't matter. Leeds, again, I don't see it. I just don't see it. They've sold Rafinha, Calvin Phillips. They've got 2 feet. They've got Rafinha, Calvin Phillips. They've shot both. And then I don't like I said, I don't think Jesse Marsh has got it in him. I don't think the players they've brought in to cover those positions are good enough. Same with Everton. As much as I want Frank Lampard to succeed, I just don't think he will. And that's the end of this chart. I'll just quickly go and have a look at how I did it in table format. All the way down. West Ham I chose for 7th here, but again, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, nah, not 11, but 7, 8, 9, 10. Basically, always, it's going to be very tough between those teams. I truly believe that. I think Newcastle will come out of the gates. I think they'll do really well. Wolverhampton, I think, are always going to be there or thereabouts, unless they invest heavily or lose Neves before the end of the window. Aston Villa, I think they've done well. Arguably, probably could have done a bit better, but it all depends on Tyrone Mings and Martinez. Just see how they go on at the start of the season. Leicester, Bournemouth, Southampton, Brighton could literally interchange them. I've put Nottingham Forest ahead here, ahead of Brentford, but again, interchangeable. And then Leeds, Everton, Fulham as my relegated teams. So that's basically it. I will be creating not daily content because I'm very busy with the restaurant, but I'll try and upload 2 or 3 times a week, and we'll definitely be getting the Sunday podcast going. And we'll probably do some collaborative videos with Lee soon he's finished with his little puppy. But that's all I have for today. So thank you for listening.